Thank you for joining me on this week's UTRGV-TV edition. I am Margarita Muñiz, and UTRGV-TV starts now. On this week's top story, with the recent termination of DACA, UTRGV students and faculty came together in support of undocumented students and DACA recipients. Our reporter Samantha Aleman brings us the details.
Say it loud, say it clear.
Immigrants are welcome here.
Justicia.
On a chilly Thursday morning, students walked out of class with posters and marched around campus chanting in demand of a clean Dream Act. What made you walk out? Why do you decide to walk out? You're a student, right?
Yeah, I'm a student. I'm a freshman. I decided to walk out because we're trying to give people who don't have a voice so that way we can show everybody that we're part of this fight and that this fight is not going to go down easy without us.
Various organizations attended the event in support of the 1,300 DACA recipients and undocumented students attending UTRGV.
We were part of the United We Dream national walkout, so that's what you're seeing right now. That's what you saw. If you recorded everything, you saw them walking out. It's not just undocumented citizens who walked out, it's actually their allies and people who support them, because we said before, they're family members who we do not know, or friends who we do not know that they're undocumented, because you don't ask stuff like that. It's not the one thing you're gonna ask for a friend or your girlfriend. Oh, are you undocumented? We don't do that. And people that they don't come out and tell you straight out that they are. So that's the reality that we live in.
It is probably one of the many irresponsible actions that the current Republican administration has acted upon by coming to an end of a program that protects these DACA students. It's an embarrassment. It's completely unconstitutional. And we do believe that these are our classmates, they're our brothers, they're our sisters, and not only is it an embarrassment on behalf of the Republican administration, but it is a shame to see that this university has not taken the slightest initiative to act upon these conflicts that are affecting their students.
Despite the cold weather, students still came together to fight injustice. In Edinburgh, for UTRGV-TV, I'm Samantha Aleman.
No border walk! No border walk!
It's important for drivers, pedestrians, and cyclists to be aware of the road rules. Recently, a school bus allegedly ran over a UTRGV student while she was on her bike on a crosswalk. Our reporter Kenia Gomez has the story.
I'm standing at the intersection of University Drive and Joe Chapa Street, where just 2 weeks ago, a UTRGV cyclist was injured during a traffic accident with a school bus. The female cyclist was crossing the street when she was struck by a South Texas ISD school bus, and investigators are still trying to determine who had the right-of-way.
Depending upon whether it's an auto pedestrian, where it's truly a pedestrian in a vehicle, or a bicycle in a vehicle, sometimes we've been getting those a couple times a month.
Hundreds of students rely on their bicycles to get to and around campus on a daily basis, having to cross busy intersections on University Drive. Alex Salinas had just crossed the street when he heard the collision.
And I looked back, but I thought it was just like a bus having some mechanical failure or something.
According to an ordinance of the city of Edinburgh, an operator of a motor vehicle that is making a left turn at an intersection, including an intersection with an alley or private road or driveway, shall yield the right-of-way to a vulnerable road user. According to the UTRGV PD, cyclists are required to dismount their bikes when using a crosswalk. However, there are no signs notifying students about this policy. Students, it is important to be aware of your surroundings and to know your rights as a pedestrian, cyclist, and driver. In Edinburgh, reporting for UTRGV-TV, I am Kenia Gomez.
In order to raise awareness and promote the adoption of children within the foster care system, the Hidalgo County Bar Foundation put together their 9th annual Heart Gallery of Hidalgo County. Our reporter Marta Ibarra brings us a story.
On any given day, there are about 400,000 children in foster care in the U.S. That is 400,000 terrified children, 400,000 plus children who are looking to belong and to be loved.
In efforts to raise awareness about the foster adoption program, the Women's Bar section of the Hidalgo County Bar Association hosted their annual Heart Gallery of South Texas. The Heart Gallery is a traveling art exhibit featuring photos of local foster children seeking their forever family.
The purpose is to raise awareness. This is National Adoption Month, and to raise awareness about children that are up for adoption here in the Rio Grande Valley. These are our people, these are our children, and we want their faces and their stories to get out as much as possible. So on each one of the portraits, not only do you get who you're looking at, a name or siblings' names, but you get their story.
Those in attendance got to hear from speakers, such as Alton police officer Eli Garcia. Garcia shared her story about growing up in the foster care system with no form of protection or happiness. It wasn't until Garcia was adopted by the woman she calls her angel that she felt loved for the first time.
God sends me an angel who is my adopted mother. My mother has been a part of my life for over 25 years.
Jessica Gonzalez spoke on behalf of her family about the process of adopting her little brother, John Anthony Rodolfo Gonzalez. John Anthony's 4 siblings, however, are still within the foster care system. In an effort to keep John Anthony and his siblings together, his aunts, Irene Galvan and Maribel Tovar, are currently in the process of adopting his 4 siblings. His sister, Jessica, went on to speak about the joy John Anthony brings to their lives.
My little brother brought a light to me in my life that I didn't know I was missing.
With November being National Adoption Month, the Women's Bar section hopes to utilize the Heart Gallery to inform and influence the public about adoption.
I think it's important because there's so many kids out there that are ready for adoption, and we didn't even know about going through CPS for adoption to begin with. If we would have known a long time ago, probably we would have adopted a long time ago. So it's very important for people to come and know about these events.
The process of adopting may be long and difficult, but it is something worthwhile. To a child within foster care, there is nothing better than to finally have a forever home.
You may need these kids more than they need you. It's a lengthy process, but it's so worth, the end of it. The end of it is you're saving someone's life. Adoption is, I'm glad it exists because you could be giving that child a better life than they could ever imagine.
In McAllen, for UTRGV-TV, Martha Ibarra.
Our university held a ceremony honoring all veterans. Our reporter Dulce Cortinas brings us a story.
Veterans Day is a day set aside to thank and honor all those who have served our country. The UTRGV Military and Veterans Success Center held its 3rd annual Veterans Day commemoration. The event was an elaborate ceremony in which dozens of veterans of all ages were honored with speeches and a musical choir performance.
A surprise. I didn't know that I was going to receive a service award for the 25 years that I've been assisting our veterans here at the university. It is a pleasure helping our students, our veterans, on a daily basis.
The ceremony brought tears in everyone. However, one attendee left surprised. The UTRGV Military and Veterans Success Center honored her for all the hard work she has done as a program coordinator.
It's a day that we honor our veterans, all those who have served and are currently serving. A lot of them, of course, as you know, don't come back from deployment. So to me, it's that one day out of the year that we get to honor our veterans.
It was a noon devoted to honor those who have served in the military, and for many attendees, Veterans Day is far more than just a long weekend. To them, it means reflecting on patriotism.
As the lemon on the bread plate reminds us of their bitter fate. The salt upon the bread plate represents the tears of the families.
I joined the military to serve my nation. That's one of the reasons. Another reason is I wanted to show my loyalty to this country. I wanted to learn the Army values. I learned how to be honorable, respectful, full of integrity, amongst many other values.
Veterans Day was first called Armistice Day and was established on November 11, 1919. This day was the first anniversary of the ending of World War I. In Brownsville, for UTRGV-TV, I am Dulce Cortinas.
This year, the City of FAR hosted an evening of celebration and family fun in honor of all U.S. veterans. I attended this event, bringing you all the details.
Despite
Despite the rainy afternoon, residents across the valley came together this Veterans Day. The city of FAR hosted a day of festivities for the whole family in honor of the men and women who have served and are serving in the United States Armed Forces.
I think the Veterans Day Parade brings a positive impact to the community, and it brings families together. It's a really nice day, so I think the children will definitely enjoy it.
With cheers, dance, and veteran supporters of all ages, the parade began on the corner of Polk Avenue and Cage Boulevard and continued south, ending at the PSJA Stadium. After the parade, the celebration continued at Liberty Middle School with a fireworks show.
I think parades like this are important. I think giving this type of opportunity for the public to see and to honor our fallen heroes and the people who are still with us today and say thank you in public places is very important. I also think it's important for the younger generations to see the people who served so they can look up to them and possibly one day have the opportunity to join the military themselves. So these parades are really important, and you know what? They're a lot of fun also.
FAR and nearby city residents hope this celebration repeats itself next year, bringing the community to show their American pride. In FAR, for UTRGV-TV, I am Margarita Muñiz. The Hispanics Women's Network of Texas strives to encourage the development of young Latinas in the RGV. This year, they held their first annual Fall Intro Fashion Show. Our reporter Yuliana Moreno brings us the details.
I'm here at Embassy Suites, where the Hispanic Women's Network of Texas is holding its first annual Fall Into Fashion Show, where all the proceeds will be going to the Latinas in Progress Scholarship Foundation.
Vendors, food, a silent auction, and the fashion show featuring local stores were all part of the Fall Into Fashion event in support of the Latinas in Progress Foundation.
The Hispanic Women's Network of Texas is a statewide organization, nonprofit organization, and the purpose again is to empower women, educate women, take them to the next level, empower them with knowledge on a variety of fields, but again, also to help them move forward, get into a different level of being community leaders.
Well, we just wanted to do something that was going to be fun and exciting for people, something that we could get people in the community to come out and watch, and that we could also give an opportunity to other young girls and leaders of the community to also participate in the event and to help showcase them as well.
The Hispanic Women's Network of Texas brought the community together all in support of the Latinas in Progress Foundation, offered to high school seniors in preparation for college.
The Fall Into Fashion Show is one of the many philanthropic events held by HWNT, promoting the advancement of young Latinas in the Rio Grande Valley through the Latinas in Progress program.
Guest authors, books, and activities for all were just some of the fun and excitement that took place at the McAllen Public Library. Our reporter Ileana Luna has more.
I am here at the McAllen Public Library, where they're hosting their 4th annual book festival, inviting authors all over the world to teach the importance of literacy here in the Rio Grande Valley.
The festival welcomed the public for free, where there was food, a petting zoo, and of course, readings. The McAllen Public Library wanted to share a message about the importance of reading, especially for the youth. The event held readings for teens and children all throughout the day, where vendors too were present.
The McAllen Book Festival is in its 4th year, and so today we have about 17 authors that have come in all over the country and regionally and locally to do sessions, do story times, and really engage the community. We want to make sure that we share the joy of reading with everybody that comes in here, and also to promote literacy throughout the community.
Authors from all over the U.S. presented their award-winning books, along with illustrators teaching children how to draw, inviting mainly Latino authors to engage with the community. The book festival started with director Kate Horan to promote literacy throughout the city of McAllen and the Rio Grande Valley, and how the library serves as an institute for educational resources. Families, too, were glad to join the library's 4th annual book festival.
Actually, it's awesome. This is way more than what I expected. We were able to do some activities and then meet an author, so that was awesome. It's very, very important for them to read. So seeing all the genres here is awesome.
And again, the McAllen Public Library continuously hosts different events throughout the year to teach the community and the youth how important reading is. Reporting for UTRGV-TV in McAllen, Ileana Luna.
And here's Daniel Galvan with this week's UTRGV Sportscast.
How's it going, guys? Welcome to another UTRGV Sportscast. It's going to be a really good one. I'm Daniel Galvan, and I'm here with
Nate Puente.
One of the greats, Adam on Facebook, station manager of UTRGV Radio, and it's a UTRGV Sportscast, so we're going to talk about volleyball, basketball, and also more basketball. Are you excited?
Absolutely.
And in this Sportscast, we're going to get up and we're going to get physical, right?
Sure.
All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to go to the UTRGV-TV studio. This is after hours. This is some pretty sketchy stuff. What's the sketchiest thing you've ever done, Nate?
One time I came to school after midnight.
Hold up. Interview this man. JC, what did you think of the UTRGV basketball game this week?
There was a game.
All right, whatever. Let's go. Thank you, cameraman. All right, let's be safe. We're going to do a fast motion. Right, let's talk about UTRGV volleyball. What's this week?
This week is the WAC tournament here in Edinburgh.
Yes, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. UTRGV volleyball, they're the 2 seed. Did they play this past week?
They did. They unfortunately lost to CSU Bakersfield, but they ended the regular season with a 3-0 sweep over Grand Canyon.
Just phenomenal. So the 2 seed, what that means is there are 6 teams in the WAC tournament, and because UTRGV is the 2 seed, they don't have to play on Thursday. They get a week 1 bye or a round 1 bye. And who are they going to play on Friday?
They're either going to play UMKC or Utah Valley, and it's really good for UTRGV because they beat both teams in the regular season.
Yeah, phenomenal. And again, if they win that, they will play in the WAC Conference Championship on Saturday at 7 o'clock. Now, there are a couple seniors on the team from Serbia, Tina Sekulic and Bojana Mitrovic, and they've had incredible careers, Nate. I said we were going to talk about them a little more, so let's talk about them a little more. What are kind of some of the accomplishments both of those players have done?
Well, the first player, Bojana Mitrovic, obviously one of the greatest players in UTRGV history. I believe she is 5th all-time in kills. And then you got Tina Sekulic. She's 7th all-time in assists. So we have 2 awesome seniors here.
Yeah! All right, guys, let's go to a different part of the studio. Ready? Nate.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Absolutely.
Talk about some basketball?
Yeah.
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 Well, women's basketball, that team is undefeated.
2-0.
They played in the Islanders Classic. They beat Concordia. Who's the other school they beat, Nate?
Trinity.
Wow, phenomenal. They had a lot of players get action and have a lot of success, like Laura Van Tilburg, Megan Johnson. Those are just a couple of the players scoring in double digits. Now, the cool thing is, when you see this, they will have already played their first home game against Texas A&M Corpus Christi Tuesday night. Are you going to be there?
Nope.
Well, moving on to men's basketball, they've had a pair of home games, and they lost their season opener against Nickel State, but oh my goodness, Xavier McDaniel Jr. in that first game had 27 total points.
That's more than I've gotten in my whole life.
This guy does not score. And then the following week, it was on Monday, I actually did commentary. Pretty cool stuff. It was UTRGV against Bethune-Cookman, who, what state is Bethune-Cookman in?
Texas.
Florida.
Texas.
If you were a Florida person, you committed a crime, you were a Florida man, what crime would it be?
Go to Bethune-Cookman.
That's messed up. Well, unfortunately for Bethune-Cookman, here's the thing. They were 2-0 against UTRGV all time, but for the first time ever, UTRGV beat them in our home court in Edinburgh, and it was a real team effort. You had 11 players for UTRGV scoring, a trio in double digits like Jordan Jackson, Nick Dixon, Mo McDonald was phenomenal from 3. So UTRGV men's basketball is 1-1. UTRGV women's basketball is 2-0. The season is just getting started, and UTRGV volleyball win, Nate.
Win.
Are they going to play? Friday. This Friday. Watch it 7 o'clock. And once they win that, they'll play on Saturday at 7. It's going to be phenomenal and glorious. And you want to say anything else before we sign out?
Come back, Z.
And for the Spotlight of the Month segment, our assistant station manager, Yuliana Quiroz, sat down with Rodrigo Ruiz, the student who started it all to get bus transportation to students from the Rio Grande City area.
Hey UTRGV-TV viewers, I'm here with Rodrigo Ruiz, the student who started it all to get the bus routes to the Rio Grande City campus. But before we move on to speaking with you, Rodrigo, I want to show you all a little update on the details of the bus routes to the Rio Grande City campus.
Since Valley Metro already has a route that's coming from the Rio Grande City campus, and that's called the Green Line. And that one goes to STC, the Pecan campus. And then from there is where students can take the RGC connector and reach the UTRGV campus. We have 2 trips in the morning and then 2 trips in the late afternoon, early evening. So the trips in the morning, you can make the connections at 7:30 a.m. and 8:10 a.m. And then in the afternoon, you can get back at 5:35 and 6:30 p.m. And we work with Valley Metro to make sure that the bus stops on the Rio Grande City campus. We did not have a bus stop there before. The bus only stopped at STC, which is a little bit farther north. So now it stops actually on the campus, and students can take the bus there. And then at STC, there should be a sign there that says RGC connector. It's in our standard format, and then they can get the bus there to come to UTRGV Edinburgh campus.
So now the Director of Transportation says that there has only been about 5 to 6 students using the bus route since it is a relatively new route, but he says that after some readjustments of scheduling, he expects more riders in the spring and encourages for students to contact him if they have any suggestions or concerns about the times for the routes. So let's go back to the beginning, Rodrigo. Can you tell us again how this all started?
This started because one of UTRGV students, Fabiola Guerra, she told me how she was super anxious about not having enough transportation. Like in one occasion, she told me that her car broke down in McAllen, and then I can recall that she told me that she wasted $80 on pure gas just to go to Edinburgh. Okay. So I was like, oh, that's a little bit like not good, you know. And I was like, well, that gave me an idea. And that same week, I went to the SGA team and spoke about that issue, and they told me, oh, you have to fill out a concern form, and I did it, and I encouraged them to do it also. And because of that, the SGA team received like 4 or 5 concern letters plus mine. Okay. Forms. So we were able to get the issue out there to the SGA team and to the Director of Transportation, and the process began. I think it was like 1 month process until they got it, and they were working on it. And yeah, that's how it started.
And how many students were involved? I know I saw this first because you posted it on Facebook, right? And how many students were involved?
Well, I received like over 50 replies, and I was like, whoa. And I only got the Rio Grande City people because I was like, they needed more. So I selected them to be on the group, and then I spoke about how the issue, and I remember telling them to go to this link, and they did it, and yeah.
And this was like in the beginning of the year?
Yeah.
The beginning of this semester, and then on September 15th, that's when you presented the issue to the SGA team, right? Okay, and so how do you feel about this accomplishment?
Well, I feel good, but I'm gonna give all the credit to the Rio Grande City students and the SGA team and the Director of Transportation, because without them, well, my petition wouldn't work out. So I give all the credit to them. But
without you speaking out, then nothing would have happened.
Well, yeah, but it's like I still gonna give the credit to them because they do deserve it.
And you did it like without getting any benefit from this, right?
Yeah, I didn't.
Because you're from Brownsville.
Yeah, I didn't get any benefit from this, nor money, nor anything.
Wow. And so what are you doing now to help them?
Well, I'm trying to, I'm speaking to them and asking how can this be improved by the route times and how can I be able to help them more, because I still think the routes are not that good. I still think if there would be a little bit more route times, maybe they could be good. But even though it still needs improvement, it's good.
Yeah, and this is something fairly new, so there is going to be some more improvements, I think, in the spring semester, and like the director of transportation said, like it's just something new, so that's why there's been a few students using the bus routes. But anyway, you still did it, right?
Yeah.
So I have a little surprise for you. There's some messages, some of the people that collaborated in this project that they wanted to send to you. So let's go ahead and take a look that way.
Hey Rodrigo, this is Rodney from Parking and Transportation. Just want to send you a thanks for getting this project started. Thank you for all the work that you've done to help students establish this new route. We're definitely happy to work with students and with everybody who needs transportation as best as we can. So thank you for getting the word out, and thank you for bringing this to our attention.
Hello, Rodrigo. I just want to say thank you on behalf of student government for coming up to us and letting us know what the concern was, where our students from Rio Grande City needed transportation. If you wouldn't have come to us, we wouldn't have known that this was an issue for our students, and we wouldn't have been able to work on it. So thank you for speaking up, and please, I encourage all of the students that if they ever have an issue or concern, that they know that they can come to SGA and we'll help them out.
Hey, Rodrigo, I would like to thank you so much for getting us a transportation, even though you didn't really have anything to benefit from. And you did so much help, and you worked to get everything working. And you even told us what to do, and we just had to do it. You got everything organized, and thank you so much for all the hard work. I hope that there's more wonderful people like you, and thank you. You're amazing.
And I also have Melissa Gonzalez, who's a senior. She's a double major in criminal justice and psychology, and she's from Rio Grande City. She wanted to send you a message saying, as a UTRGV student currently living in Rio Grande City, it has been hard to go and come back from school. Because of this, I have been taking online classes, but soon enough, I will have to finish my classes in the Edinburgh campus. Now that we have transportation going from Rio Grande City to Edinburgh, I feel it might be easier for me to attend these classes, and I want to give a big thanks to you, Rodrigo Ruiz, because you pushed forward for us to have this great advantage, and you aren't even from Rio Grande City. And yet you did this for us, so it just tells us what kind of person you are. And we also have Omar Nedzelski, who's also a senior, and his major is biological sciences, and he's from La Grulla. He says, thank you for bringing up a transportation issue for your fellow classmates. Even though you didn't come from the Starr County area, it shows how much you truly care for other RGV classmates and resembles the type of heart you have for others. You put others before you, and you didn't have to do this for us. But we are so thankful you took this challenge and made it a reality. Thank you, Rodrigo. How does that make you feel?
Good.
There's so many people out there that thank you for all that you did, like everything. Like it took a lot of work, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here, Rodrigo. And like all these people said, there has to be more people like you in this world. And we just thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you.
This is our Spotlight of the Month.
That is all we have for you today, but remember, if you have a story you would like for us to know about or know of an individual making a big or small change in our community or campus, you can contact us through our social media or email us at utrgvtv@gmail.com. We have community and UTRGV news for you every week. See you next time.